Okay, on the last problem we did what I like to call an in-betweeny, also known as an and. This one is known as an or. See, I got a highlighter here. I do have a highlighter. It says or in between them. You've got two separate inequalities. Well, you're going to start by solving each inequality separately. So I am going to subtract 7 to begin with. That way the 7 cancels out on the left. And that's going to leave me with a 2x is less than or equal to a negative 17. And then of course you would divide off the 2. I don't think you need me to write that step out at this point, do you? So the 2 will cancel on the left. And then negative 17 divided by 2, you can leave it, let's see, I'm going to look over here real quick to see what it says. Type your answer in interval notation, use integers or fractions for any numbers in the expression. Okay, so they want me to leave the negative 17 halves. However, for my brain to process this, I have to see it as a mixed number. Because when I look at my number lines, they're all in whole numbers. So let's see, 2 goes into 17 8 times. So this is going to be negative 8 1/2. All right, so that's the first one. Or, got the or in there. And now I have to go over and solve the other one. Use some green this time. I will also start by subtracting 7 so that that cancels out. You get 2x is greater than or equal to 3. And then of course you divide off the 2. It'll cancel on the left. And you're going to leave it as 3 over 2 on the right because of what they said in the directions. But in terms of the number line, 3 over 2, that would be 1 1/2. Okay, now, you won't see the number line graphs in my math lab. The first thing you have to do is answer this. And then the number line question will pop up. It's easier for me to actually graph this first and then do the interval. I'm a visual learner, so it's easier for me to see it. I have to plot a negative 8 1/2. So let's say that the negative 8 1/2 or negative 17 halves is down here somewhere. And then here's 0, and then up here somewhere would be the 1 1/2 or the 3 halves. And because, I'll use a highlighter on this, because we have a less than or equal to on that number, you are going to need, let me make that a little smaller, you are going to need a bracket because of the equal to, and then your arrow must be going towards negative infinity. Remember that negative infinity is far to the left, positive infinity is the farthest to the right. So that's going to be that. And then my other one has x is greater than or equal to 1 1/2. So I'm going to need a bracket there going in the greater than direction. And when I look at this, I can see the intervals. And I wrote the negative infinity and the positive infinity down for a reason. I can, let me pick a different color here. How about red? I can see the interval right here. It's going to be parenthesis, negative infinity, comma, negative 17 halves, and a bracket. And then there's going to be a second interval, so you're going to connect the intervals with a union symbol. And then the other one, which is this one here, I can see it. It starts at 3 halves, comma, and goes to infinity. I mean, it's right there, right here, 3 halves to infinity. And this one was, I guess I should have just circled that part instead. That one. So this is my answer right here. That's how you're going to type this into this box right here in my math lab. And then of course I just have to pick out the correct graph. I've already graphed it once, so we're looking at choice D. It's D. Now you may notice E and F. Sometimes on an or, like if my inequality signs had been backwards, like if this one had been greater than or equal to and this one had been less than or equal to, then the pink one, let me use my highlighter here, the pink one would have started here and gone that way, and the green one would have started wherever 3/2 is and gone that way. And see, they overlap, but they keep going in opposite directions. So it's the entire number line. And it's an or, which means it can be one or it can be the other. When you have an and, ands are usually in-betweenies. So if this, let's see, let me go with, how about purple? Right here, if they had said and instead of or, then your answer would have been this one, because the pink is going to the left, and I'm looking back at my original graph I drew for you. The pink is going to the left right here, and the green is going to the right. And if you have the word and in there, then you're looking for where the pink and the green overlap. They don't overlap. And then you'd come up here and say, oh, there's no solution to this because there are no numbers that are less than -8.5 and greater than 1.5 at the same time. It just doesn't happen. So on that one, you'd say no solution, and then it would be this graph here. So, but anyway, for the original problem, there's your interval, and it's choice D. So I tried to go over the situation where it looks like E or if it looks like F and how that happens. And okay, so there you go.